Hey guys, welcome back to 8-Step Forensics. I'm Jared Hurwood, helping you guys out with standing up your performances today. So essentially what standing up your performances are, if you don't already know, it's like once you have your script and then you ask yourself, what do I do now? And that's when you have to stand up your piece. And so a lot of people have like a roadblock once they're at that point. So here's my little script I got here, right? And I'm looking at it and I'm like, what do I do? Should I memorize first? Should I create the movements and like create like a catchy beginning first? Like something that's very like attention grabbing? Well, not necessarily. First, I would, personally what I do, there's not like a hard and fast rule about if you should memorize first or then and block second, or block first and memorize second. Personally, I find that muscle memory really helps when you're performing or when you're getting your piece up. So I would say that you should do both at the same time. What a lot of people do is once they have their script like on paper, they like tape it to a wall, and then that way they can look at it. So like let's say like this was my performance, or this was my script. I can like turn around and like practice looking at it and read it. So like while I'm doing the movements. So it's weird, like you're talking to a wall, but it's really helpful to like get your performance up. So then I want to talk about physicality and characterization, and those are really important in duo because they really, and actually all of Inter, because you're really establishing your character and like who you want your character to be. And I think that the more unique and the more personalized your characters can get, it creates an easier. It's much easier to get the impact that you want. So like I'm gonna start off talking about like mainly dramatic duos first. So with dramatic duos, I think it's a lot more important to have like very, very intricate and unique characters. Primarily because the more like outlined you can have your characters, it's a lot easier to create, like instill like that dramatic emotion into the judge or into the audience, and they can be like, wow, that was a really good performance. So like, let's say you have someone who's really fragile, right? The person you're acting as is very fragile. So like, for example, my dramatic interpretation performance last year was about a paralyzed football player. And so like, I obviously couldn't have nuances and like twitches like in my fingers, but like I could like have like the way like the way he spoke and the way like he like moved his head, and like what he said and the way he said it, things, and like really focusing in on those things and like the emotion that he had while getting the injury, while experiencing the injury, while like understanding that he would never be able to play a sport again. And so that's really important, like in dramatically focused duo interpretations. But in humorous performances, which are personally my favorite, because they make you laugh and they're a lot more personable. Well, I do like a mix better, but humorous personally is a lot more interesting to me personally. But so with humorous performances, you can have like unique characters that are like silly, but also they're unique because like they can make you laugh, and you want to keep it personal, but you also don't want to make it like funny where it's like unrealistic necessarily. So for example, like if you're talking about like your classmate who's like annoying, and you want to make him like a nasally guy that kind of like slouches while he eats and like huddles over his food, like that's something, like that's a character you can make. Or if you have like a superhero, like you can make him talk like this and pop out his chest and things of that nature. So that's really important when looking at characterization and physicality. And last but not least, just I want to really like focus on like making sure your performances are creative and unique, because it's not fun to like watch a performance that like you saw someone else do that same character or that same type of person. So I think that's something that, especially here at 8-Step Forensics, we really promote. So that's standing up your performance, and hope that was helpful.